can we talk about that whole thing? Like
he said, bottlenecker.
When you
and
where you live is where you work.
That, where you live is where you work.
Yeah, that seemed to be a big reason to get niggas about the country. Cause it's like when you have land, whatever that land has access to, or whatever that land has, you know, in its vicinity, that's yours too.
Correct.
You know, when you talking about waterways, if you own land that's connected to a waterway, you own, quote unquote, a certain percentage of the waterway, like the rights to it.
The way the land of the Lord of the Land thing, this whole land patent thing works. You own what's on top of the land, and you own all the way down to the center of the earth. That's how far deep that go, all the way to the center of the earth, and you own the air rights. So up in the sky too. So it's not just the land; it's everything around it, the air, and what's in the ground. For this brother case,
how far that extend?
To the center of the earth.
Wow. Yeah. It's
a hell of a diameter.
You see, I knew it was something special about this thing from the beginning. Yeah, for sure. That's why I stuck with it. Telling the truth, there's a certain level of pride that comes with this. So we gon' finish strong, proud, and resilient. This is muddy water. We keep it moving through the muddy water. Swerving hard through the muddy water. With a cup full of muddy water. Jumping out the muddy water. Pumping out the muddy water. We build bricks with this muddy water. Put them filters down, this is raw and uncut. And ain't no chaser with this mud, just straight to the good. I say we going live, he say nigga what's up. I say we getting high, he say nigga roll up. Another topic of discussion, a conversation piece. Monumental black boom born out of necessity. Now put them cups up, make a toast and feed on this recipe. Wise words, this is poor righteous teaching. From a rich type feature, adding wealth to my creature.
Yeah, this is Frankie looking good. I started this in like 2017. Just started selling like different brands of seasoning, and then started, you know, implementing my own, you know what I'm saying? With this brand right here, I do like 5 flavors, you know, steak and burger, chicken, pork rub, and I do a garlic blend, and I also do like a seafood. So with these flavors right here, and with these brands I make, they come with like less sodium, you know what I'm saying? Sodium ain't high in it, you know what I'm saying? The calories are good in it, good ingredients. You basically want to check your ingredients because a lot of people get a lot of chemicals, and the chemicals, what they do is like MSG, too much sodium causes high blood pressure, causes diabetes, you know what I'm saying, causes kidney failure, and stuff like that. So MSG gives flavor. So a lot of people think when they go buy cheap seasoning that they're getting a good product. You're not getting good product, you're getting MSG. MSG give us a flavor as a salt content, like, you know, it balances out with the salt. So at the same time, you know, a lot of people be like, oh yeah, that's, you know, it's kind of steep for like, you know, a bottle of seasoning, but think about it. You're getting potent seasoning. You're getting something that you don't have to put a whole lot in, that you know what I'm saying, you're getting good ingredients, and then you can see the fineness of the ingredients inside of your seasoning when you know what I'm saying, when you seasoning your food. So you also want to look at, like I say, the salt content in it, you know what I'm saying, like the sodium in it. Like that's a real factor in that, a real big factor in that, you know. Plus the type of salt that they use, you know what I'm saying, which a lot of this stuff, brands that I carry, and a lot of stuff, it come with kosher salt or either sea salt, you know what I'm saying. So a lot of people think salt is salt, but a lot of salt have like different ingredients in it. Salt is supposed to be salt. Why salt have different ingredients in it? So, you know, it's just a brand I started. You can follow me on Instagram, you know what I'm saying. Frankie looking good, and my link is in the bio. Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? Get that out the way real quick. Turn that shit off, man.
Kneeling Youngblood.
I don't hear that shit.
Give me that. What's the word, man? I heard y'all was over there talking about this $900 million man. I don't. Prologue was telling me about it.
What's your thoughts on that?
Are we ready?
With the case,
You starting?
$900 million court case.
Like you said, it sound like dominoes to me.
Yeah, shout out
We
to
filming?
him, man. Yeah,
We rolling?
yeah.
All right.
Shout
Yeah,
out
I can't
to
do
him,
both.
man. Shout out to him.
I could keep it
Trying
on
to
you
get
though.
his family land back and
How that work?
royalties from the oil.
How that work?
What?
How they do it? It was the same. It was the same like the Bruce Jenner.
No,
Oh,
it's a
you
Bruce
talking about
Jenner.
I mean the Bruce
Bruce
Jenner. What I
Beach?
said, Jenner.
It's a Bruce
Yeah,
Jenner.
kind of similar situation. He seen his family had land out there in Texas. I think it was Kearns County, somewhere out there, and his family had his grandfather or great grandfather, I believe. According to the news, that his grandfather was a slave. He purchased some land out there. It's like almost 200 acres, and it's oil.
He was a slave.
That's what they said. He was a slave, but he managed to purchase land when he got freed. That's crazy. Slaves didn't get paid from what we were taught, but and they got oil under there. But they this other white family, they moved in and said it was their land, and they've been getting the oil rights from ConocoPhillips over the last few years, probably well over 50 years. But this guy proved that that's his granddaddy land from well over 100 years ago.
Why
He
did
proved it.
Here we go again. It ain't public news.
He proved it, or
No,
he trying to prove it?
that's I seen that in Forbes magazine. This guy's already a billionaire already.
He proved it, or he tried to prove it?
He's an asset manager, I believe. His total assets is something like 1.1 billion. So he's already financially savvy. Even in that, this brother found out that his family had land that's well over 100 years. It's been in his family, and that's generational wealth type of money. Whether he win or lose, it's still a domino effect from when we talked about the Bruce Beach thing. What was that, like a year or two ago? Many cases like this, but this is just a pretty big one because that's almost a Billy right there that they trying to get.
You cool with that?
Back up. Too close.
Sorry, man. Wish you need to back up a little bit. You cool with that at all? If not,
It's just me in it though.
yeah. It's the live, man. I don't know how to do
That's a
this.
little better like that. I don't want to be the only one on it.
Okay.
You see my ugly face the whole time.
That is true.
So yeah, man. Shout out to that brother, man. Kneeling Youngblood. That's his name.
Kneeling Youngblood.
Kneeling Youngblood. Yeah.
Kneeling.
It's like knee land, like knee and then land put together. Yeah.
And look what he got. Some land. And some money to go with it.
Then the article talks about how many black farmers lost all this land.
What
in
is
the
that?
Earlier, what was that? 19th century, 20th century, early 19th century. It talks about how they lost millions of acres. So this is one of them scenarios, something that was lost about 100 years ago, coming back to the rightful owners.
So what's the bigger conversation? Like, what's like this one dude? We heard about the Bruce situation. Why is this significant to me or you?
Well, his story and the Bruce family story, and the family on Silver Dollar Road. If y'all watch that, those are stories of many Negroes in America. Their grandparents had some valuable asset, which is the land, and a lot of us lost it. Some live on it, but a lot have lost it through eminent domain, through all type of things, lynch mobs, all of that, and now it's coming back to the rightful owners after 100 years minimum. Like the Bible said, the wealth of the wicked is laid up for the just. Like that type.
Say that one more time.
I said, like in the Bible, it say the wealth of the wicked is laid up for the just, and they will get oil fields that they didn't dig. That's bars.
So can we talk about the story? What is kneeling?
It's laid up for the just.
What is kneeling?
His name is Kneeling Youngblood.
That's a hell of a name, ain't it?
Hell yeah.
Kneeling Youngblood.
A rich brother, by the way.
Aside from see you tripping already. God damn it. So aside from his personal acquired wealth, what's the story? From what I read, it was like he stumbled upon some information. You know what the story is?
I've read like 3 different articles, and the stories not all the same in each one, but from what I could gather, his family had land. Well, I guess would be his granddaddy. They wound up losing it to a white family that tried to claim that was theirs. And so while the granddaddy, that generation with the grandfather, they're trying to prove that this is their land, and this white family, I think their last name was the Corks.
Something like that.
Yeah, they hurried up and wanted to expedite the drilling and things like that. So they didn't have no real documentation to say that was their land. So this brother's not just fighting Kanoko Phillips, also this Cork family. Because they're saying that
because they kind of in cahoots.
Yeah.
You need the white family to do whatever.
They're saying they're the owners,
Phillips.
but I'm pretty sure this man's family probably has a land patent in his family name.
They wouldn't even.
That's why this is important. Like
they wouldn't even hear the case if that wasn't the case.
Yeah, and I think this is Supreme Court, right? Did it make it that far?
I don't think it made it that far.
For a number that big, I would have thought
it's gonna get there eventually.
Eventually.
Yeah, I'm not sure the detail. I can't really get out of it.
Yeah, this is new. Like this happened like this week, so we just need to follow it and see what's what.
Right. Follow it.
But pretty much the same scenario like with the Bruce Beach family, if y'all remember that. It's pretty much the same scenario. If y'all watch Silver Dollar Road, similar scenario, except they had land and the water than in Silver Dollar Road.
How is it similar to Silver? I watched it. I don't know if other people watched it.
This family had this land for ever,
generation,
and these builders, real estate developers, wanted their land because it's prime real estate. Like it has a water, the coast is right there. So their business was, I think they were seamen or fishermen. So that was their home and their business. So they was kind of like bottlenecking them where they can't eat, and they wanted to build on their land.
Can we talk about that whole thing? Like
he said, bottlenecker.
When you
and
where you live is where you work.
Where you live is where you work.
Yeah, that seemed to be a big reason to get niggas about the country. Because it's like when you have land, whatever that land has access to, or whatever that land has, in its vicinity, that's yours too.
Correct.
When you talking about waterways, if you own land that's connected to a waterway, you own, quote unquote, a certain percentage of the waterway, like the rights to it.
The way the land of the Lord of the Land thing, this whole land patent thing works. You own what's on top of the land, and you own all the way down to the center of the earth. That's how far deep that go, all the way to the center of the earth, and you own the air rights. So up in the sky too. So it's not just the land; it's everything around it, the air, the and what's in the ground. For this brother case,
How far they extend?
to the center of the earth.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
It's a hell of a diameter.
That's what it says. Center of the earth.
Yeah. So so when we talking about this, like, cause we trying to deconstruct this whole shit.
It's a hell of a projection.
So it's like ConocoPhillips could be just paying him. What is the need? And we gonna move on to the main subject and all that. But
Yeah.
what's the need to have the other parties involved for the transaction?
Well, they wouldn't.
Why
pay
is
him.
that a pattern? That seemed to be a pattern. Like,
Well, Conoco is the oil tycoon, but they don't own the land. They just want the oil.
They just
So
tycoons.
they had to get
Coons.
to the owner and distribute the contract with them. So this Cork family are saying that they are the owners, but then you got Mr. Youngblood who's saying, "Nah, this been my family shit. We lost it through probably improper paperwork, shit like that."
so this is
So the oil people, they can't really frack or drill without having the permission, the agreement with whoever the owners are. So it's
Yes.
really more about who the owners are. Conoco ain't really doing nothing wrong technically. They did business who they thought was the
Yeah.
owners,
Or
and they probably
who-
know who the owners are.
So that's what I'm trying to get to. Like, how does that happen? Is it a case where somebody out of the family just sold off some shit? Like, it was a legit transaction that
No, it was
there's regret about?
It looks like
Or
from
is
the
it
Cork
so-
family, looked like they said they purchased some of this land, but even if they did purchase it, if they are not on that patent, it doesn't matter. A lot
So
of
how that
people in
work?
America buy land or build on properties that technically really not theirs because it's still in the name of the deceased person and their heirs.
So how does that work?
How does that? What you
How
mean?
can you sell
Bad
land and
contract?
it still belong to who
It's
sold
really
it to?
illegal.
It's
Technically,
illegal.
yeah, because even though a person is deceased, if they have a patent in their name and it's still functional, most of them usually say forever.
Shoulda was shoulda.
Yeah, and the original person died off, whether they was killed or old age or whatever the case, and
It's still intact.
it's still intact. And that's where the court case comes in at, because he's saying my granddaddy had this before this current family, the Cork family, got it. So
if he can
this
prove-
black man is saying he was a slave, well, his granddaddy was a slave and purchased this land.
So he'll have to be able to prove
So
that,
he would probably already approved that.
that
Obviously,
he
that's
never
it.
sold it. That is.
Well, that's
that
where the
never
patent
sold it.
comes in at. That's where the patent comes in.
So you said he's already proven it?
That's his grandfather.
He already proved that.
Yeah, he's saying this is my granddaddy shit. So somewhere in them generations, it got misconstrued. What that happens with a lot of black families back in those days.
Do he still got the land patents?
That we don't know. We probably won't know that till the case keep unfolding. But this is one of them situations.
So there's a physical land patent?
Whether it's a physical copy, but it's in a department. What is it?
Archives?
The land of the
Bureau
Department
Land-
of Interior. Yeah, it's in there.
Bureau of Land Management,
Yeah,
shit.
Bureau of Land Management. Yeah,
Right.
Army Corps of Engineers, all them government sites.
But there's
in there.
documentation showing it.
Yeah, and it's court, so you gotta have the documentation. Like
Yeah,
this
I'm just trying
family,
to get to
they'll
the-
probably have the deed that we purchased this for X amount of $1,000. He's gonna have the document say, yeah, y'all might have done that, but that was illegal because we still own this. We the original owners. That's what this gonna boil down to, because we talking 900. He wants the 900 million plus
Yeah.
the
A whole bunch of other
the
shit.
back pay of they've been digging on this
Right.
shit for over 50
And
years.
pumping oil out.
They're probably doing it right now still. I doubt they shut down,
Yeah, and that's the point.
work
like,
because they got a case going on.
see, we trying to wrap our heads around what the fuck is the point, right? Who cares? Why does it matter? And that's why it matters, because,
Your wealth was already given to you from your ancestors.
Right. So let's
And
get to that.
then you lost it during this.
All right. We have people that have a certain it ain't necessarily disdain or hate towards their ancestors, but a feeling of disappointment, a feeling of shame, quote unquote, of their ancestors for shit being fucked up. I don't think we have an understanding of how that whole thing works, because we're told niggas be first generation college students, first generation high school graduate. We look at it like nothing happened until slavery. Slavery was the start of niggas.
Mm-hmm.
So anything that we accomplish at this point is the first of our generation, because niggas were slaves.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't have a gauge of, like, we don't know what to compare it to. All we really know is quote unquote poverty.
Mm-hmm.
Everything came from slavery, nigga. You was a slave, and now you starting to be able to do things in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Prior to that, nigga, you was in the jungle. You know what I'm saying? That whole shit.
Mm-hmm.
I think most people know that that's bullshit, but everything that we use to navigate this whole shit, plays on that bullshit.
What bullshit? I missed something.
The narratives to keep the shit going, shit. You know what I'm saying?
Kind of what we was talking about, like they trying to make you accept shit, accept certain stuff that they accept. Like with the whole green leaf.
We just come from nowhere and just start jumping in the motherfucking conversation.
I've been here.
Yeah, like, what do you say to that? Like, to explain how the whole trust, there has been a situation where your people left you shit in order, and then something happened to where you don't know about it. That whole thing. All these cases is shit like that. Eminent domain, Lake Lanier. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
They all situations where it was just history was cut off. There is no real surviving narrative from within where the shit happened from. You know what I'm saying? People died, people got threatened, shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
And the prevailing narrative is the one that whoever did it gets to tell. So at this point, niggas be sound like they be just complaining. When we starting to see all these stories of documented grievances, like.
Well, I mean,
I don't know. Was there a question in there somewhere?
I guess it's to kind of make that short, I guess. We talking about from slavery to the 1960s.
From whatever.
That's what 100 years, 1865 to 1965. Malcolm X got murdered in 65 and all that. So that's 100 years. Within 100 years, you had so many different eras. You got your Reconstruction era. You got Jim Crow era. You got, what we got? You got the Civil Rights era. All of these things right after a war. So you had the Civil War, then Reconstruction era. All this shit is within 100 years. So countries in turmoil. You just had a war.
Yeah, we don't understand that history like that. We see it as America,
But people gotta understand, like,
we don't see our part in the way they tell the story. We don't see.
You're not gonna see it because the winners are telling the story.
So we don't have a complete history.
The loser never tells their story in the history because they lost. There's a war going on. We lost.
But that's kind of the point. That's the distinction. Like, loss. It ain't that niggas lost. It was all like little ways to systematically take the shit apart. It wasn't a case where niggas just lost.
You sure?
It was a case where,
They lost the wars, man.
No, I'm saying like we looking at this situation. This is a perfect example.
I'm talking about with the court case, but that all leads up to it. You lose a war, you gotta build from losing the war, and in the midst of losing the war, they still hitting you with shit. You ain't even getting a chance to rebuild. If you from the South and you had this land and you had all this fighting on your land, and the Union won allegedly, they won. Mm-hmm. So you don't have time to rebuild because you go from war to Reconstruction era. They reconstructing all the shit that was already went through war. Yeah, then you got World War coming after that. Like you never get a chance to fix shit.
That's my point. Even after Reconstruction,
World War III.
This situation, I don't know at what point he lost his land, but what this is proven is, if it's a case where niggas just lost a war, then it is what it is. But it ain't. It is what it is.
Yeah,
they having to steal. That's what he proving.
Yeah, I think it was a part of this.
Niggas didn't necessarily lose. It was just over time, systematic ways to. If you fight a war and you win it, and they still impose sanctions and shit, did you win? Look at Haiti and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They won, but they've been paying them niggas for the last 100 years.
Yeah, it even says in the article that it said that this case basically could open up the door for a broader issue of land disposition faced by black communities during the Jim Crow era, a legacy that continues to impact property ownership disparities today. So that old thing of stealing land 100 years is still affecting people why they can't build wealth.
That's
the easier route, because what your grandparents or great-grands or great-greats left you, that shit got stolen or y'all were forced to leave it. That's the other side of things. We don't know these stories because we might have had an ancestor that was forced to leave that shit, or they could have got lynched and shit like that.
Well,
so you don't want to talk about it.
How can we say niggas was lost? If niggas lost,
well, it was already a war.
It
was already a war, and then you lost the war, and you ain't even get a chance to rebuild because they still hitting you.
But if you able to reclaim it, that means you never lost it.
No, I said lost the war by losing the land. That's two different things. But the war was all about the land anyway.
Bully, man.
Yeah, it's basically got bullied.
Bully shit.
Yeah, but the bully,
and you gotta understand the bullies ain't one person or entity. It's a bunch of parties involved.
What is
to
it?
Keep you
right, and then next thing you know, you don't forgot about shit.
That's why they was fighting you in the first place.
You don't forgot about shit, man.
So the Stork family, whoever.
Some people give up fighting, man.
That too.
People, they got too many family members getting murdered.
Who is that family? The family that's actually living on the property now?
The Corks family, the white family.
Yeah. So who are they in the transaction?
They the ones say they the owners because they saying they granddaddy back 70-something years ago purchased this land.
So are they part of the part that won the war?
Nah, they
from Britain.
They not even from America because the people that had the land originally is what French. Youngblood is saying. My family been had this.
So
y'all been here 50 years.
Whenever the war was won,
100 years ago,
it was still in the Youngblood possession, but somewhere along the line,
it never left possession. That's the whole point of the patent.
So who the fuck are these people then?
They just
what you mean?
I don't know how.
Squatters.
What's
Squatters. I like that word.
It's squatters.
Sound like
so no. So niggas never lost.
No.
It was just
they were
stolen.
Exiled in their own land.
Exiled.
Right.
That's
that ain't the same as losing.
Shit, you exiled.
Oh man, hold up.
If you can at some point reclaim it, then you never lost it.
We're not gonna get stuck on losing. Exiled is a good point.
Exiled
to switch all this shit up because we're gonna get stuck on losing.
If you go through courts and reclaim your shit, then you never lost it.
Stuck on losing.
Somebody just stole it and you had to get it back.
I got something better.
Like if somebody steal your car, is it no longer yours?
When you lose something, that means it's still not yours. They never got a lost and found at school.
No, nigga. If
lost,
you have a car and it's been your car for 10 years and somebody steal it and two days later they find it, is it theirs now or is it still yours?
It's still yours.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, it's no difference.
You just have to reclaim the motherfucker.
It's no difference than saying I lost my keys.
That ain't the same thing as a war. If it's a war, which like court, then you lose, and that's what the fuck it is. You lost, so it's now no longer yours.
Yeah, but
we talking about shit that's being reclaimed. Like they never lost it. It just somebody stole it.
I said
and he had to
lost
find
a war.
it.
I just said a war though.
He said the war.
I didn't say intellectual property. I said they lost a war. You switched it into
I like
that. I just said they lost the war, the bloodshed, the killing, the battles. I said they lost that.
The different laws.
I don't even see how they lost the war.
The North versus the South. The South, you saying the South won?
If niggas could still reclaim, so.
But I'm just talking about the battling. It's all start from there to now. That was the segue to why this case is a thing. Because he's talking about.
Did they ever say how they lost?
He said He said they were free slaves, and mind you, this is Texas. This is Texas. The area that. So we talked about Juneteenth in the summer. This affects his family because they are in Texas. Remember, there's a lot of people already being freed pre-1865. They didn't know about it in Texas. Remember the whole Galveston thing? This is that. So if they're saying they were freed slaves, but after they got free, he was able to purchase the land. Why we had Juneteenth in the first place? Because those people down there didn't know about the Emancipation Proclamation. That's this case right here, because it's Texas. And it said right after the Civil War, which is what, 1864, 1865, something like that. Mm-hmm. They said the granddaddy purchased the land. So we talking over 100 years.
They said he purchased the land.
They said it, but he was a slave though. How are you a slave and you get money to purchase land?
So that narrative
is that exactly.
That's something by winning the war, they're able to push that narrative.
And they never said he was African. They just said he was a freed slave and went and purchased land once the war was over.
A couple articles said African.
Oh, some did? Okay.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they can't leave that part out.
I seen the free slave a lot, though. He was a freed slave. They have his name. It's Louis.
Cut this off.
Louis something. I forgot his ancestor's name. So this man is trying to get his granddaddy shit back, and you got a family trying to block that because they've been making millions of dollars for over 50 years. Why would they not try to fight that? They're not going to give that shit up that easy. Because then they're going to be broke.
Well, there goes your answer right there, too, Raleigh.
What's that?
Were they even slaves? The man might have been, like you said, might have been pushed off the land.
But slave means what? Employee. He worked for somebody and he had money to go buy some land. He could. But we do got to understand slavery was big in Texas. The whole Galveston, all of that shit. You know, so he could have just been a worker. And he was saving his money when the war was over. Notice when the war was over,
did they ever say he was slave or employee too?
They might have. I ain't catch that part. But they said the area that he was enslaved at. So, and again, because of the narrative that we taught, we see free slave, we thinking all that Kuka Kente bullshit. He could have just been a worker who saved up his money to buy land, because that's how a lot of slavery went. But like, I'm gonna work for you for X amount of years, you're gonna pay me X amount so I can buy this land to build my wealth for my family.
Right.
And so it could have been one of them situations.
Well, we definitely got to stay up on that story.
Yeah, we'll follow it. Yeah, we know this gonna be in court for a good little minute.
Follow that. And y'all like, share, follow this video. If I ain't said it yet, we back with P-Anon, the Oracle, the genealogist, y'all have seen it before. Can we get to what we really came here for? Or is there anything else
Let's
you
do
want
it.
to mix into this?
I'm ready, man. Let's get it poppin'.
He was talking about trust earlier.
Okay.
This series that we're about to do with you, that you're about to help us with, you're going to grace us with your presence to help us do this series.
Help us. Shit, it's his series.
To help us do this series. What are you talking about?
I ain't got nothing to do with it.
You got nothing to do with it?
No.
Really, bro?
I'm just here to witness.
Yeah. But yeah, it is his series, kind of, so
It's not mine. It's not mine. You're just sharing the knowledge for the people, man.
Right. Okay.
Who am I to say this is mine? Hell no, I'm not doing that.
Hold on, I'll be right back.
Well,
Start it off.
this is just a dissertation. We're doing a dissertation series where we had did a live one time, and we ended it off with how we were moving into this series. Of course, I wanted to name it the origins of humanity in biblical texts.
Okay.
Of course, Boom, he wanted to name it Niggas in the Bible.
I mean, both names they stand out for sure. Both names. You can't really go wrong with neither one. But nah, I would say the first one got a little bit more seasoning on it. Because a lot of people know it's niggas in the Bible, but we about to dive in to what that is, though. It ain't just regular niggas in the Bible. We gonna dive in.
Okay.
And see what that's about.
So that's what this series is gonna be about?
That's what it's gonna be about.
Okay. And how do you when he was talking about the trust, I'm gonna ask you, how do you propose to do that? But with the trust, is there a trust in the Bible? Is there a form of a trust in the Bible? In this series that you're about to do pertaining to the Bible.
When we talking about trust, we talking about
humanity.
like trust in one another, or you mean like trust law? But really, that is kind of the same thing. But what do you know what? I see what you're saying.
Just like, is there a format,
yes, there is
decree?
Yes,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So we're gonna see as this goes and unfold, we're gonna see trust, like you're my family and I entrust this property to you, and we also gonna see trust because it's brotherhood and sisterhood type thing. You're supposed to trust your brother or your sister,
which is law,
which is natural law. So you're gonna see, yes. So in short, we're gonna see trust, but from all angles. But that will be further in the series. I think when we first start, we're gonna deal with
tell us about that.
Language.
Tell us about the start of this series that we're about to do.
So we're gonna deal with language, Old English, and science, just in the beginning of the Bible. So Genesis, we're gonna take like the first probably 1 through 10. And
I'm definitely gonna be looking into,
and we're gonna build on that.
Yeah. I'm definitely looking into that and read up them first, like you said, Genesis 1 through 10.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be definitely in it for the next. Whenever we do start this series, I'm definitely gonna see what that's about. But go ahead, what was you saying though?
Yeah. So it's gonna be just with those few scriptures alone.
What is 1 through 10 going to reveal?
So that's the creation story. Even if you don't read the Bible, most people heard of Adam and Eve, the serpent, all of the creation of what everyone is taught, the creation of the world or the earth. That is the Christian ideology of the beginning, because Genesis means the beginnings. So those scriptures, we're going to deal with Old English and science. And from there, we're going to go into trust. So we're going to see all three of those within just the first few first few chapters.
So you think that's gonna spark a whole lot?
Hell yeah.
Just that first.
Hell yeah. Because what my intent is to make this simple. It's not going to be easy for everybody to grasp, but it's going to be broken down very simple. So, for example, the Bible's back then. So, the Bible was published in 1611. So, back then, the language of the Bibles was Old English. Like, I'm speaking English to y'all right now, but it's not considered Old English. We speak what they call modern English. My theory is, out of all the languages in the world, us black folk in America, most of us speak slang. And slang to me is still remnants of Old English.
Is there some way you can that's going to say that in these first 10 or in this series?
Man, just let the man talk, man.
Well, it's written
Break
in
it
Old
down,
English.
break it down.
We're going to see the words like, you'll hear like thee or thou, that like the Shakespeare talk, that's Old English. Like if you watch the Romeo and Juliet plays or whatever, that's Old English. But they also use words like Lord, because back then you still had kingdoms going on, so you had lords, like Lord of the Rings, all those movies you hear Lord, that's medieval times. Like that's when the Bible was written and published, I would say 1611 by King James, and they spoke Old English. So for instance, you'll see a word like Lord, but it might be all caps. Then you might see Lord again, and it might be just a capital L, and the rest of the letters are lowercase. That means something.
Okay.
So you might see Lord God in the Bible. That means something. We were taught that meant somebody in the sky, and he's above everything.
Okay.
That is what we were taught. I'm going to show y'all different. So for example, when I said the slang, I use Lord for example. In slang, if Sanchez says a joke, and I say, ha ha, you stupid, I'm not calling him stupid like he's not smart. I'm saying stupid because it was funny. That's how Old English was, and we're the only people that still speak like that. So we're not talking like, where art thou, Romeo, but the dialect and how the words work, we still speak like that.
Current slang.
Yeah.
Right.
So within that, you're going to read the Bible totally different, knowing that it's written in a language you don't speak, and the words, you have to read it in the context of the writer. So the writer is writing from a dead language, so to speak, because people don't speak it no more. It's going to change the meaning of what you thought that meant. So that's simple, but it might not be easy, because when I show you what that line said, you're going to be like, what the hell? That's where it's not easy part come in, but it's going to be simple to look up the word, because we got Google, we got all type of shit. You could look up what a word meant, at the etymology of the word, basically. And that's going to change how the Bible reads. Old Testament, that's what I'm going to be dealing with.
So can we read the first couple chapters?
Yeah, we could do one. We'll just do the first one. Let me get it up real quick. Pause.
Yeah, thank you.
All right.
Like, share, follow. Hit that like button when you see this video.
All right. Let's see what we got.
Get it up.
Let's see.
Get them likes up.
This is one.
Subscribe.
All right.
Are you almost a million?
Yeah, I'll grab one.
Yeah. I mean, whatever.
Let me see one now. Please.
So you got so Genesis means in what they call Hebrew or Shemitic language, It means the beginnings. That's with an S at the end, the beginnings. So that changes it because there's an S at the end. Alright? So then you got, so it's Genesis 1:1. So this is how I read. And I'm reading the King James Version because that's written Old English. That's how a lot of them were written back then. Now we got quadrillion different versions of the Bible, which is why there's so much confusion about the book. They keep changing it to take away the purity of the original intent of when it was first written. So, me personally, I look at the Bible as a war document. I don't look at it as mythical stories because I understand that the writer is writing it like a newspaper, what's going on in their time of living. So it's current events for that time. So that's how I interpret it. But here's Genesis 1:1. And most of y'all probably heard this before. So it's in the beginning, God created the heaven and earth. That's Genesis 1:1. So when we see words like heaven and earth, we automatically assume the sky and the planet that we on. But earth in this state, in this context, it translates to land or country. It doesn't mean a planet. Heaven translates to a certain part of the sky, not the whole sky. And God don't translate to a being in the sky. God in that scripture translates into a principal chief, a ruler. So that's an individual. So when you read it, it says in the beginning, this ruler created his land. So that would mean like kind of like trust law. You're establishing your boundaries on this land, this principal chief. That's what that translates to. It also translates to false gods too, and undivine rulers. So we're not talking about one God like that's in the sky. It translates to like a ruler and a certain land, because it translates to land or country, not a whole planet.
I couldn't wait to hear the breakdown here.
So that's just Genesis 1:1. All right.
And where did the breakdown come from?
So the Bible is translated from old, ancient Akashic records.
You ain't got it.
Well, I mean, I could say why would I
It's
even?
gonna come back up.
But why would I translate it like that? Because even though that's Old English, all the writers are translating it to Old English, they're translating it from old manuscripts, Akashic records, like the Dead Sea Scrolls, all these old thousands.
So they're translating from other books.
Yeah, which would be written in the Shemitic language.
Damn, that is, yeah. That's
So
right there when you're translating from another book to another translation.
So the reason why this king is doing that's King James. Everybody says all these things about him, but it's wartime going on in his time of reign. So what people tend to do back then, they write down what's going on so that to preserve, just in case they lose or get killed or whatever, is to preserve their family traditions, their kingdom. You're preserving it, so you tend to write it down and store it. So that's why in wars, they don't just want to take the land and the minerals. A lot of times they go snatch up these books of the people of the land that they just fought. And if they killed them all, or you got POWs, they go get their books too. So if the writings wasn't important, why snatch those up? So this king, which is James, these books, all of these books written in Shemitic or Hebrew language, is valuable to him, and he wants to preserve it. So he got like 50 different writers to get all of these books and try to comprise them and then he published it to the world in 1611. Now when I mean the world, I mean like all over the world the book went out. So this was private at one time. So being that he's a king, kings want longevity. They might not live forever, but they want their name to reign forever. So that's why he wrote it down and published it to the world. Kind of like if y'all watch the Book of Eli, that type of scenario. It was what he had was so powerful. He kept it here. Once he got to a safe place, then he put it out to the world. When he got to a safe place.
What do you mean safe place?
Man, you ain't watched the movie, nigga?
Yeah, I watched the movie.
Damn it, Sanchez.
Yeah, I watched the movie.
You talking about Book of Eli?
Yeah. Once he got to a safe place where he could get the word out,
Sorry.
so to speak, then he put
Kids.
Then he put it out to the public.
Those kids around.
Oh, yeah.
Sanchez, man. Jesus Christ.
So,
Hey, let me just interrupt. So, Sanchez, 1 to 10. Let me get the 1 to 10.
Might be at least a 9.5. Way it's looking.
Just wanted to catch you up. Appreciate it.
yeah, so that's how that went. The Bible was originally Shemitic, and Semitic is important. Is because as we go through these series, we're going to be talking about land and language, and people. These particular people spoke a particular language because it's their culture of the lands that they're on. And these books that we have together, the Bible ain't nothing but a bunch of other books comprised to make the book. These are their writings. These are their stories. And it got comprised into one. Whether you believe in the book or not, we can't argue that it's one of the most controversial books in the world. That's why.
But is it controversial because niggas don't understand what's going on?
It's exactly. And then you have people who portray to understand, and then they telling you some shit without you researching.
Hey, you married, nigga. I don't know what you. Hand me that bucket.
Cookies. Hey, let me grab one of these out of here.
Yeah, man. Try one out, man. See what you think.
These are some new flavors. Look at this one. I ain't
try
never
the
seen
red
this
velvet
one.
joint?
Yeah. I ain't never seen this one.
Yeah.
What's this one?
What is it?
Oh, it don't say.
I can't really see.
It don't say. Is that Snickerdoodle?
Thank you, nigga. Yeah, I think that's Snickerdoodles right there. Yeah, man, they all fire though. So, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I already know.
Shit.
I already know.
Yeah, you probably gonna edit that part out. Save that for the commercial.
Got another question?
Nah, man. I'm ready to hear this
Yeah,
I would like to just hear it.
explanation.
Let me hear that first verse.
Alright, so I did the first one. I'm gonna go to another one. I'm trying
Oh,
not to do too many.
I don't need no.
I'll do one more. Let me go back.
Yeah, do 1, 1, and 1,
Do
2.
the last one. Do the last one, yeah.
No, be cool.
Go from
Nah, so I just did one.
1 to 10.
Then I'm gonna go to the second, which is the one right after. So I just read one. That was chapter 1, verse 1. I'm gonna read verse 2. It say, "And the earth was without form and void, and the darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters." So now, remember, we were taught this is the creation story. So what I want y'all to understand is we have where it said God, but something was already there during this creation story, right? Water was already there. Darkness was already there. It never said that those were created. So remember the first verse said God created the heaven and the earth. The second verse said earth had no form and void, but darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. So he never created the water. He never created darkness. They were already there. So in science, you got quantum physics. The thing that we see that's around us all the time that makes the sky dark, that is carbon. That darkness is carbon. It's always there. It's the essence of life. You can't have nothing without carbon. So just like they say you can't live without God, you can't live without carbon. Carbon is God. So that's one God right there. Then you got water. Water was already there. You can't do nothing without water neither. So we be like, I can't live without God. I need my God. Without it, you need water too. Everything got water in it. Even bad things, chemicals, are not created without water. So that means this God is good or evil. You could create either with this God called water. We could sodas and all that stuff that we drink that's not good for us. Guess what the foundation is? Water. Water could bring life because you can water your crops, feed your land. It provide fish for you. But guess what water could do? It could drown you too. So water gives and take life. Isn't that not what God do? Ain't that what we taught? When somebody died, it said God needed another angel in heaven. So he gave the life and he took it. Guess what? Water can do the same thing. If you don't respect that water and don't know how to deal with it, you're going to drown. So we got already three different entities that were not created. So you got God, darkness, and water. So if these are gods, that means gods are supposed to create. So I gotta say this one, this is the last one, because I can't leave it with a hole in it like that.
What's that?
The next verse. So it said,
you gonna do 3?
It said, and God said, let there be light.
Are you still gonna have time to,
Yeah, watch this.
I'm talking about the next episode.
Yeah, because I'm just reading. I don't have the stuff in front of me to break the word down all the way.
What are you looking at me like that over for?
So check it out. It say, so now we talking about creating things. It said, and God said, let there be light. And there was light. And God saw the light, and it was good. And God divided the light from the darkness. So my question to y'all brothers, where'd the light come from? It said the light was divided from the darkness.
He said he created the light, right?
From the darkness. So where'd the light come from?
Right.
Created the light.
I'm gonna read it one more time. God said, let there be light, and there was light. And God saw the light, that it was good. And God divided the light from the darkness. So where did the light come from?
Sun?
Nah, it's saying it.
Let there be light.
The light divided from the darkness. You come from your mama, right? Don't you come from your mama?
Right.
The light came from darkness. So in science, the way we talking about the speed of light, or God's speed, when they measure it, the light, it moves so fast, it comes out of darkness. Like, you won't know what light is without dark, right? If you're in a dark room, then you cut the light on. It's dark first. Light, you cut the light on
to get light.
So that darkness is carbon. The light, and I'll show y'all this on the next episode, but the light, when the baby is in the mother's womb, is surrounded by water. So it's, like I said, the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the water. So it's darkness in the womb. It's dark as shit in there, like midnight dark, and water. The two things that help cultivate that baby. The darkness and the water. Say when you're growing your herbs or your vegetables, it's dark in that soil and it's water. And the light is the child that comes out. So that's the birth of a child right there from the woman. But also you see the carbon and the water. Those are two gods already. We are carbon-based people. So the light that came out the darkness is the seed that comes through the woman. And it's surrounded by water. That's why I said the Spirit of God. So spirit means breath in Hebrew.
Right.
So the breath of God moved upon the face of the water. That's the life in the body. The life inside the womb. It's in the water, in darkness. 9 months later, it comes out. The light comes out from the darkness.
Wow.
Man, we gotta save the rest for the
And that's all I'm gonna do.
We gotta save the rest from the show, cause I'm about to say something that I don't know if I'm gonna
just
Hold on.
close my Bible up, but So yeah.
I don't even know what to say though.
You gotta say it. You doing all that now? Hell, I wouldn't know what you about to say. You might as well say it now.
So he's saying just one individual birth?
That's what I was about to say. He said the same thing I was about to say. So is the Bible just talking about one individual birth?
No,
is that what you said?
it's
I was
talking
going
about-
to add the Bible.
It's talking about the science of life.
Okay. All right, we're going to end it right there, y'all. Like, share, follow, if you would, please. This has been a quick introduction.
Hold on. Can you read it one more time? 1, 2, and 3?
Okay. Damn, Wally, are you serious?
Yeah.
Go back and look at it. Go back and look at it. No.
Just-
Go back
Don't
and
do
look
it.
at it. No. Go back and look at it.
Just read 1, 2, and 3 real quick. Man, say shit good
That's how
with
we
that
gonna
dumb
end it
shit,
with you
nigga.
begging.
I'll read
What
it.
you begging. Are you serious, man?
Yo,
Come on, bro. For what? Come on, man. We got things to do. We got things to do, man. I'm done.
hold up, man. Be cool, man.
No, man. I'm finished, bro.
Don't
It's
stop
finished.
it, man.
It's
Be
finished.
cool. It ain't gonna take no time.
It's already stopped.
You be on that gay ass shit, nigga.